When we apply work with fractions to these multi-step questions, there's actually two strategies to doing it. I'm going to show you both. So if I have x over 4 plus x over 2 is equal to 1, the first strategy is to treat these as fractions and to combine the like terms. So here the coefficient is 1. So here I have 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2. In order to add fractions, we reviewed that if you haven't had a chance to do the fraction practice questions, make sure you do that first. But we reviewed that we need a common denominator. So here, I'm looking for a number that 4 goes into, that 2 also goes into, and that number is 4. So that's going to be my common denominator. Oops, don't need this equal sign there. The equal sign is over here. So my common denominator is going to be 4. In order to make this is already a 4, this is going to stay the same. In order to make this into 4, I need to multiply it by 2. And whatever you do to the numerator, whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to the numerator. So 1x times 2 is going to be 2x. Now that I have a common denominator, I can add the numerators. So x plus 2x gives me 3x, and the denominator stays 4. To get rid of the 4, I'm going to do the opposite operation. So the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4 because these 4's are going to cancel out by doing so. And I'm left with 3x is equal to 4. Now the opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And I'm left with x is equal to 4 over 3. Or I can think of it like 4 divided by 3, so 3 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3 is 3. Remainder is 1. So my whole number is 1, my remainder is 1. And my denominator is 3. The other method to solving these kinds of questions is to get rid of the fraction. And the way that we get rid of a fraction is we multiply all the terms by the lowest common multiple. So that is the number that 3, 4, and 6 all go into. So if I list the multiples of 4, the multiples of 3, and the multiples of 6, I'll notice that the number that they all go into is 12. So 12 is my lowest common multiple. This is not the same as the greatest common factor. This is the lowest common multiple, is 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply every term by 12. And the reason that I'm doing that is that it's going to help me get rid of these fractions. So 3 times 12 is 36a over 4, minus 2 times 12 is 24a over 3, is equal to 5 times 12, 60 over 6, plus, I think that was an a, so 12a. I can simplify these fractions. 36 divided by 4 is 9a, minus 24 divided by 3 is 8a, is equal to 60 over 6, which is 10, plus 12a. Now I've gotten rid of the fraction. So that was the whole point. I know that all three numbers are going to go into 12, so if I multiply the numerators by 12, I can get rid of those fractions. The key is to multiply every single term by 12, because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. And now I can simplify. 9 a minus 8a is just a is equal to 10 plus 12a. So I want the a's to come together, so I'm collecting the like terms on the left side of the equal sign. So to get rid of the 12 on this side, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Subtract 12a. So a minus 12a is negative 11a. And then 12a minus 12a is 0, so I'm just left with 10. Now, to get the a by itself, it's being multiplied by negative 11, so I'm going to do the opposite, which is divide by negative 11. And my final answer is that a is equal to negative 10 over 11. And notice how the negative sign I put at the beginning of the whole fraction, not in the denominator. That's proper math form. Next example. So using that same strategy of multiplying by the lowest common multiple, that's how I'm going to answer this question in order to get rid of the denominators. So here, the lowest common multiple for 6 and 3. So I'm going to list the multiples of 6. And oh, don't know how 9 got in there. I think I was merging those two together. So multiples of 6, and then multiples of 3, and I already see that the 6 is one of the multiples. So 6 is what I'm going to multiply every single term by. So this counts as one term. This is another term, and this is another term. I'm going to multiply each of them by 6. So here I have a binomial, so I'm going to put the 6 in the front. And now I want to get rid of the fractions. I could do distributive property, but it's actually faster just to look at it and see, okay, well I have 6 here and 6 in the denominator. 6 divided by 6 is 1, so these are going to cancel out. 6 divided by 3, so these cancel out and I'm left with x plus 1. 6x divided by 3 is 2x is equal to 12. I can just get rid of the brackets. And collect the like terms. So I want to get rid of the, well, I'll put the like terms together first. So that gives me 3x plus 1 is equal to 12. Just going to add more space here. So I want to get rid of this plus 1 over here, so I'm going to bring it over and I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And I'm left with 3x is equal, 12 minus 1 is 11. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So x is equal to 11 over 3. And if I wanted to change that to a mixed number, 11 over 3 means 11 divided by 3. 3 goes into 11 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. And I have a remainder of 2. So that means x is equal to, it goes in 3 whole times with a remainder of 2/3. And that's my final answer.